College Algebra, Section 2.3, Using Synthetic Division to Factor Polynomials. Part 1, Using Long Division to Divide Polynomials. We'll use long division to divide 4x cubed plus 7x squared minus 12x minus 21 by x squared minus 3. So the divisor here is what we're dividing by. So we're dividing by x squared minus 3. That's our divisor. The dividend is what we're dividing into. So 4x cubed plus 7x squared minus 12x minus 21. And then we will divide to find the quotient and the remainder. So long division with polynomials is very similar to how you did long division in elementary school. So we're going to set it up the same way. We're going to write it as x squared minus 3 into 4x cubed plus 7x squared minus 12x minus 21. Now to decide where to start, we're going to look at the first term of both polynomials. We have an x squared and a 4x cubed. So we could think of it, how many times does x squared go into 4x cubed? Or what times x squared equals 4x cubed? So 4x times x squared is 4x cubed. So we'll write a 4x there. And then we're going to multiply, distributing. 4x times x squared is 4x cubed. And 4x times negative 3 is negative 12x. Notice I wrote the negative 12x under the x term. I could write here a plus 0x squared if I want. You don't have to write that, but that can kind of keep track of everything. Then I'm going to subtract. Remember, in long division, we subtract. So we have 4x cubed minus 4x cubed is 0. 7x squared minus 0x squared is 7x squared. And negative 12x minus a negative 12x becomes negative 12x plus 12x, which is 0. And then I'm going to bring down the next part. So bring down whatever the next term is. In this case, it's negative 21. And then we're going to do the same thing. What times x squared is 7x squared? So that will be 7. So I'll write a plus 7. And then I multiply that 7 by the x squared minus 3. So 7 times x squared is 7x squared. And 7 times negative 3 is negative 21. And again, I could put a 0x here. I have 7x squared minus 7x squared, which is 0. 0x minus 0x is 0. And negative 21 minus a negative 21 is 0. So our remainder is 0. So our quotient then is the 4x plus 7, and the remainder is 0. So how are we going to write this? Let's look at this theorem here about polynomial division. Suppose d of x and p of x are non-zero polynomials where the degree of p is greater than or equal to the degree of d. Then there exist two unique polynomials, q of x and r of x. So q stands for quotient, r stands for remainder, such that p of x equals d of x times q of x plus r of x, where either r of x equals 0 or the degree of r is less than the degree of d. Strictly less than, not less than or equal to. So our remainder, what that means is our remainder has a smaller degree than what we're dividing by. Our two polynomials we divided, and we said the quotient was 4x plus 7, and the remainder was 0. Then how can I write this in this form right here? So p of x, that's the 4x cubed plus 7x squared minus 12x minus 21 equals the divisor, so what we divided by, times our quotient, plus the remainder. In this case, our remainder is 0. So what does that mean? It means we have factored this polynomial into x squared minus 3 times 4x plus 7. There is no remainder, so it is factored.